My friends call me Dick.
Okay. Rick?
No, I'm not a Rick. I'm a Dick.
Rick with a D.
Dick.
Rick.
First things first, we got a new contest going on over on our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/thecinemasnob, where you could win, let's see, what do we have in here? Oh, a lot of Scooby Doo stuff is in here. We got this hollowed out Scooby Doo head where we scooped out his brains and decided to make a mug out of it. There's, of course, the box of the Scooby snacks, and this Scooby Doo, looks like a bath towel, and hey, you could use this as like a bath pillow or something. Oh, the Scooby-Doo Playmobil set, because I guess the toys for the Playmobil movie didn't sell like hotcakes. And my favorite here, which is one where I was looking at it going, do I want to keep this for myself? You got yourself a Muttley as well. Now you could win all of this at our latest contest over at patreon.com/thecinemasnob. And let me tell you something about this Muttley right here. This is what maybe gave me a little bit of hope about this movie, because I'm not a huge Scooby-Doo guy. Did I watch it when I was a kid? Sure, if it was on and there wasn't much else to watch, really. I wasn't a huge Hanna-Barbera guy. Some. Yogi Bear, definitely. Wacky Races, totally. Scooby-Doo, I'd get my fill out of a couple of episodes and maybe go outside and throw around a stick or something. But, so with this new one, knowing that Muttley was in it, then that piqued up my interest. Will I like this better than some other Scooby-Doo stuff of the past? Well, when the movie was opening, in which it was a pup named Scooby-Doo, and Shaggy's a little kid, Scooby's a puppy, and we have scenes of Shaggy walking down the street, listening to his iPod with the Backstreet Boys. Jump ahead into the future where the gang is all meeting in a restaurant in which they are approached by Simon Cowell, who judges them and breaks up their group, but that still inspired Scooby-Doo and Shaggy to start singing Shallow out of nowhere. Oh, around then I was kind of like, don't know if this is gonna be the Scooby-Doo product that's gonna win me over. But hey, at least I got my Muttley, which I'm going to have to say goodbye to whoever wins this little prize package here. This is the most I've ever owned and purchased of any Scooby-Doo related memorabilia. There's a part in this movie where Shaggy and Scooby-Doo go missing from a bowling alley, and Fred and Daphne and Velma go to the bowling alley to ask around, to investigate what happened to Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, and they're talking to the girl who works there, and they describe Shaggy. They describe him down to a T. And she says, the employee says something to the effect of, oh, so what an old man thinks a 60s hippie teenager is like? Cute. Here's the thing, though. This movie is the last movie that needs to be throwing shade about pandering from its crowbarred references to Netflix, Tinder, words like hashtag, whatever other buzzwords you want to come up with, the stuff that they're throwing on the soundtrack. The fact that this is not even a mystery, it's a Scooby-Doo movie where there's really no mystery present, except for the opening pup named Scooby-Doo thing with the ghost in the haunted house. The rest of it is a Marvel movie. It's a superhero film. They're partnered up with the son of a superhero, Falcon Man or something, played by Mark Wahlberg, and they have to face up against Dick Dastardly, who is a superhero villain in this movie. There's no mystery to it. For early on, you know who the villain is. It's Dick Dastardly. And then when you see what he's collecting, it's pretty easy to put in your head why he's collecting all this stuff, where this is going to lead to, what his plan is going to be, the reason why he's doing what he's doing. This would be fine if I ever really thought it was all that funny. I got a few chuckles out of the movie, certainly. Some involving Muttley, yes. It certainly made me want a Wacky Races movie. Dick Dastardly and Muttley are in this movie because again, superhero movie, so you need something that is the opposite of what your hero is, or at least like a bad mirror image version of it. So you have the good boy and his dog, Shaggy and Scooby Doo, with the evil guy and his dog, Dick Dastardly and Muttley. And I'm talking right down to superhero movie, giant portal going up to the sky. And since they know that the fan favorite characters are Shaggy and Scooby Doo, they put in the third act breakup right at the beginning of the movie when Simon Cowell comes in and breaks up the gang. So you spend so much time with Scooby and Shaggy in this film that whenever Fred, Velma, and Daphne would pop back up into it, I kept forgetting they were a part of this film. Oh, don't worry, there is another third act breakup in the proper third act of the movie between Shaggy and Scooby, but even for a third act breakup, it's petty. There weren't a lot of laughs I got out of it. Like I said, mainly some stuff with Muttley, but even then, there really could have been, it didn't have anything to do with the Wacky Races. It really could have been just kind of any villain that's thrown in there. And if I had laughed more, I'd be forgiving of most of the things that I'm talking about here. The animation is good, I'll say that. If you had seen this in the theater, it probably looked cool on the big screen. If it was in 3D, there were some shots where it looked like the 3D would be really popping and cool and colorful. But maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm the odd man out on this one. I don't know. I think the reviews for this movie are fine from what I've seen. I've seen some fairly decent reviews of it. Maybe it was too early in the morning for me to be watching this just pandering product of a movie that wants so hard to just be a Marvel movie down to having its own Hanna-Barbera universe with having other Hanna-Barbera characters in it, including Captain Caveman. Hey, if that's what you want, why don't you just stick with some old episodes of Yogi's Gang? Because at least with that, you get bigoted Yogi Bear.
I'm no friend of yours, fatso!
Laura liked this movie a lot better than I did. So she grew up with Scooby Doo and has more of an affection towards Scooby Doo than I ever really did growing up or in my old age. And she liked this movie. So maybe if you are really big into Scooby Doo, more so than I am, maybe this movie will land with you better. And you know what? Hey, if you got kids, you need something to throw on the TV. It's bright and colorful, and there's a lot of action superhero things going on, so I'm sure it'll be perfectly serviceable and worth the price that you're paying for it. But if you're like me, when you're just sitting there watching this movie too early in the morning, $20 is too goddamn much. So what do I give this movie? Let's see. I give this movie a low The Haunted Strangler. So, okay. Again, check out our contest going on at patreon.com/thecinemasnob. We got the mug, the Playmobil set, the bath towel set. We got Muttley right here, and of course the Scooby snacks. I think it's the one snack-related thing I have in here that doesn't, for some reason, have Sour Patch Kids jammed into it. And subscribe to us on YouTube as well at youtube.com/Stone Gremlin Productions, and follow us on Twitter at The Cinema Snob. See you next time.